more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
No man can fully grasp how far and how fast we have come. But condense, if you will, the 50,000 years of man's recorded history in a time span of but a half a century. Stated in these terms, we know very little about the first 40 years, except at the end of them, advanced man had learned to use the skins of animals to cover them. Then about 10 years ago, under this standard, man emerged from his caves to construct other kinds of shelter. Only 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. The printing press came this year. And then less than 2 months ago, during this whole 50-year span of human history, the steam engine provided a new source of power. Newton explored the meaning of gravity. Last month, electric lights and telephones and automobiles and airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop penicillin and television and nuclear power. And now, if America's new spacecraft succeeds in reaching Venus, we will have literally reached the stars before midnight tonight. This is a breathtaking pace, and such a pace cannot help but create new ills.
I'm a ghost.
As it dispels old. New ignorance, new problems, new dangers. Surely the opening vistas of space promise high costs and hardships, as well as high reward. So it is not surprising that some would have us stay where we are a little longer, rest, to wait. But this city of Houston, this state of Texas, this country of the United States was not built by those who waited and rested and wished to look behind them. For the eyes of the world now look into space, to the moon, and to the planets beyond. And we have vowed that we shall not see it governed by a hostile flag of conquest, but by a banner of freedom and peace. The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. And it is one of the great adventures of all time. Those who came before us made certain that this country rode the first waves of the Industrial Revolution, the first waves of modern invention, and the first wave of nuclear power. And this generation does not intend to founder in the backwash of the coming age of space. We mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind. And its opportunity for peaceful cooperation may never come again. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win on the other side.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
I think the momentous, most memorable thing that I can recall about that particular day was the opportunity while my two friends here were being put into the spacecraft to stand alone by myself out there and look at the rocket and the quietness and see the sun come up and the waves rolling in and the evidence of the millions of people watching, but nothing specific, and just so quiet. Realized that indeed such a contrast was going to take place. All the frantic activity preparing the rocket, but it was so quiet up there for me personally, and that in a very few moments we were going to be departing in a great roar and off for a momentous event.
I thought we had a 90% chance of getting back safely to Earth on that flight, but only a 50-50 chance of making a successful landing on the first attempt. There's so many unknowns in that descending from lunar orbit down to the surface that had not been demonstrated yet by testing.
Yeah,
it's a risk-reward equation.
I'll try not to get us all killed, eh?
You're able to accept a level of risk so long as it's commensurate with the reward that you will get by achieving the goal that you're after.
T-minus 1 minute, 35 seconds on the Apollo mission. The flight to land of the first men on the moon. All indications coming in to the control center at this time indicate we are go. 1 minute, 25 seconds and counting. Our status board indicates the third stage completely pressurized. 80-second mark has now been passed. We'll go on full internal power at the 50-second mark in the countdown. Guidance system goes on internal at 17 seconds, leading up to the ignition sequence at 8.9 seconds. We're approaching the 60-second mark on the Apollo 11 mission. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We passed T-minus 60. 55 seconds and counting. Neil Armstrong just reported back. It's been a real smooth countdown. We passed the 50-second mark. Power transfer is complete. We're on internal power with the launch vehicle at this time. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3.
This is it, hey?
2, 1, 0. All engine running.
I'm going to the fucking moon.
We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower clear.
We got a roll program.
Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program.
You're doing them right there, grab the seat. Shit, I forgot my Pepsi. Can we go back? Ah, shit. Fuck, I hate to fall out at this altitude, buddy. Holy fuck.
Houston, you're good at 1 minute.
Fuck.
Downrange 1 mile, altitude 3, 4 miles now. Velocity 2,195 feet per second.
11 Houston, thrusters go. All engines, you're looking good. Hi, Roger, you're
Hit that abort button.
We're through the region of maximum dynamic pressure now.
Spot.
11 Houston, your guidance is converged. You're looking good.
Set 8 miles downrange, 12 miles high.
There's somebody over there.
4,000 feet per second.
Stand by for mode 1, Charlie. Mark, mode 1, Charlie. 1, Charlie.
Cliff Charlesworth taking a staging status.
This is Houston, you are go for staging. Tower's gone. Roger, tower. Board cutoff.
Inboard engines out.
I'm in board cutoff. Houston, be advised the visual is go today. This is Houston, roger out. Yeah, they finally gave me a window to look out.
Yeah. I forgot my fucking Pepsi though. Fuck. Wouldn't mind having some bologna too. I thought we're my slaps 245. The sun's coming up. Wow.
I think certainly to go as far away as and look back on the Earth certainly does affect your perspective. And then when you see it, tiny as your thumbnail held out in front of you at arm's length, that sort of gets your attention. A beautiful sight, tiny, pristine, blue and white, very fragile-looking object, shining like a beautiful headlight out there in the black velvet of space. It does change your perspective. It makes you think that we have to take better care of this little fragile thing, because it is fragile.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Slightly less than 1 minute to ignition, and everything is go.
Roger, Apollo 11's go.
Already.
Ignition. We confirm ignition, and the thrust is go. Apollo 11, this is Houston at 1 minute. Trajectory and guidance looks good, and the stage is good.
Looks like Africa. No, it is or not.
Velocity
Asia.
35,570 feet per second. Apollo 11, this is Houston. Around 3.5 minutes. You're still looking good. Your predicted cutoff is right on the nominal.
Roger, Apollo 11's go.
We're showing velocity 35,570 feet per second. Altitude 177 nautical miles. Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are go at 5-1.
Roger, Apollo 11's go.
Sounds like fucking Mass Effect. Are the Reapers coming? Whew. Oh, fuck. Recenter. I'm gonna end up killing this. What do you think?
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Your go for separation. Our system's recommendation is arm both spiral buses, over.
Okay, Spiral B coming armed. My intent is to use bottle primary one is for the checklist, therefore I just turned
Sure with the logic.
Hey Neil, we need to rotate the spacecraft now. Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. meters. 30 meters. 25. 20 meters. 15 meters. 10 meters. Fast. 8 meters. 6. 5 meters. 3. 2 meters. 1 meter. Alright, Neo, we need to rotate the spacecraft now. Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. 25. Meters.
Fuck. Fuck. Kill us all in space. Fun times. Try it again. Fuck. Fuck.
Alright, Neo, we need to rotate the spacecraft now. Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. Meters. 30 meters. 25. 20 meters. 30 15 meters. 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 Six. 5 meters. Three. Meters. One meter. Action.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Radio check, over.
Roger, we've got the high gain locked on now, I believe. Auto track and now.
3 fucking
Okay,
times.
you're coming in loud and clear, but Mike is just barely readable.
How is Neil? How are you reading Mike?
Loud and clear now, Mike, and we understand that you are docked.
That's right. Houston, we're ready for LAM ejection.
Roger, go for LAM ejection.
Thank you.
Apollo 11, this is Houston, over.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 11, go ahead.
Roger, could you give us some comments on how the transposition and docking went, over?
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well, Houston, although I expect I used more gas than I've been using in the simulator. Except for using a little more gas, and I'd be interested in your numbers on that. Everything went nominally.
This is Houston. Roger, we copy.
Not bad. Altitude 86.7 miles.
Eagle, Houston, the alignment and the initialization look good to us, over. Roger, thank you. Eagle, Houston, would you have Columbia go to the high gain, yaw 0, pitch -20, over? There you go, 1 minute till take. You guys take care. See you later. Apollo 11, Houston, we are go for a over. Roger, understand. Roger, Eagle, I'm done. Roger, how does it look? The Eagle has wind. Roger. Eagle, Houston, we see you on the steerable, over. I do believe you got thrusters on board that vehicle. Okay, you got it. Do it, data. Roger, let us know when you're ready to copy. We have a DOI pad and a PDI pad, over.
Guidance says we'll go. Coming up on 5 minutes to ignition. Gene Kran's getting a go, no-go for descent.
Okay, all flight controllers, I'm going around the horn. Make your go, no-go, based on the Dady and Fern LOI. See, we got it back. Give you another few seconds.
is going fine. Okay, retro, go. Vital, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Self-com, go. Jinsei, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go to continue PDI.
Alright. What a size. Oh, here comes the blue planet. Tell me I gotta put this down now too. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay, recenter. Hold up for additional thrust. Pitch. Forward and backward. See how many times I can do this now.
Altitude 5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Roger, understand. Go for landing. 3,000 feet. Put out the alarm. 1201. 1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. 2,000 feet. Into the ag, 47 degrees. Roger. Altitude 67 degrees. 1,400 feet. Still looking very good. Roger, 1202. We copy it. Feet down at 30, down at 15. At 400 feet down at 9. 300 feet down 3.5. 47 forward.
I'm not fucking, man.
11 forward, come down nicely, 200 feet. 4.5 down. 5.5 down. 100 feet, 3.5 down. 75 feet. That's looking good. Down and back. Altitude 5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200. Houston, you're go for landing, over. Roger, understand, go for landing. 3,000 feet. Copy. 1201. 1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. Into the ag, 47 degrees. Altitude 1,600. 47 degrees. 1,400 feet, still looking very good. Roger, 1202, we copy it. 700 feet, 21 down. 540 feet down. 100
Holy fuck. Let's try it again. The bitch.
Altitude 5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200. Houston, you're go for landing, over. Roger, understand, go for landing. 3,000 feet. Copy. Alarm. 1201. 1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. Into the ag, 47 degrees. Roger. Altitude 1,600 degrees. 1,400 feet, still looking very good. Roger, 1202, we copy it. 700 feet, 21 down. 33 degrees. 540 feet down. 430 down. Down 3.5. Altitude 5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Fuck yeah. We're here all day. Can't get that one.
I'll leave it blue. Relay to us. See if they got me now. I got good signal strength in blue.
Eagle, we got you now. It's looking good, over. Eagle, Houston, after yaw around, angled S-band pitch, -9er, yaw, +18.
Altitude 5,200 feet. Manual out of deep control is good.
Roger, copy.
Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Roger, understand. Go for landing. 3,000 feet. Stop alarm. 1201.
1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. Where go? Same type. Where go?
2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. Into the ag. 47 degrees.
Roger.
47 degrees.
Eagle looking great. Your go.
Altitude 1,600. 1,400 feet. Still looking very good.
Roger, 1202, we copy it.
35 degrees. 35 degrees. 750, coming down to 23. 700 feet, 21 down. 33 degrees. 100 feet, down to 19. 540 feet, down to 30. Down to 15. At 400 feet down at 9. Gate forward. 1050 feet down at 4. 30, rip and a half down. They're tagged on horizontal velocity. 300 feet down 3.5. 47 forward. On 1.5 down. 70. Got the shadow up there. 50 down at 2.5. 19 forward. Altitude, velocity, light. 8.5 down. 220 feet. 13 forward. 11 forward, coming down nicely. 200 feet. 4.5 down. 5.5 down. Within 60 feet, 6.5 down. 5.5 down. 9 forward. 20 feet. 100 feet, 3.5 down. 9 forward. 5%. 185. Okay, 75 feet. Guys looking good, down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. Lights on. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. 40 feet down 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Straight shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward. Drift into the right a little. Down 1/2. 30 seconds. Forward. Contact light.
About to land.
Okay, engine stop.
Ooh.
ATA at a descent.
Not bad.
Mode control both auto. Descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in.
Good job.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
I'm at the foot of the ladder. The limb footbeds are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. Although the surface appears to be very, very fine grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. As the surface is fine and powdery, I can pick it up loosely with my toe. It does adhered in fine layers, like powdered charcoal, to the sole and sides of my boot. I only go in a small fraction of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch, but I can see the footprints of my boots and the treads and the fine sandy particles. Yeah, this is Houston. We're copying. There seems to be no difficulty in moving around as we suspected. It's even perhaps easier than the simulations of 16G that
You're not leaving no
we
traces.
performed
Okay.
in various simulations on the ground. Absolutely no trouble to walk around. light out here. Magnificent desolation. Something interesting in the bottom of this little crater here. Okay, Buzz, we ready to bring down the camera? I'm all ready. I think it's all squared away in good shape. Okay. I'll step out and take some of my first pictures here.
Roger, Neil. We're reading you loud and clear. Let's see, getting some pictures and the contingency sample. Neil, this is Houston. Did you copy about the contingency sample? Over.
The passive seismic experiment detected lunar moonquakes and provided information about the internal structure of the moon. This experiment studied the propagation of seismic waves through the moon and provided our most detailed look at the moon's internal structure. The Apollo 11 seismometer returned data for just 3 weeks but provided a very useful look at lunar seismology. More advanced seismometers were deployed at the Apollo 12, 14, 15 and 16 landing sites and transmitted data to Earth until September 1977. Each of these seismometers measured all three components of ground displacement: up-down, north-south and east-west. If a seismic event is observed by 3 or more seismometers, the time and location of the event can be determined. Because seismic waves from distant events travel deeper into the moon than waves from nearby events, by measuring events at various distances from the seismometer, one can determine how seismic velocities vary with depth in the moon. In turn, this information can be used to study the moon's internal structure. Most of the events observed by the seismometers were due either to moonquakes or to meteorite impacts. However, the third stages of several Saturn V rockets and the ascent stages of several lunar modules were deliberately crashed into the moon after these spacecraft were no longer needed. These man-made crashes produced seismic events of known times and locations and helped to calibrate the network of seismometers.
I believe I'm out of your field of view. Is that right now, Houston?
That's affirmative, Buzz.
The laser ranging retroflector experiment was deployed on Apollo 11, 14 and 15. It consists of a series of corner cube reflectors, which are a special type of mirror with a property of always reflecting an incoming light beam back in the direction it came from. These reflectors can be illuminated by laser beams aimed through large telescopes on Earth. The reflected laser beam is also observed with the telescope, providing a measurement of the round-trip distance between Earth and the Moon. This is the only Apollo experiment that is still returning data from the Moon. Many of these measurements have been made by McDonald Observatory in Texas. Laser beams are used because they remain tightly focused for large distances. Nevertheless, there is enough dispersion of the beam that is about 7 kilometers in diameter when it reaches the Moon and 20 kilometers in diameter when it returns to Earth. Because of this very weak signal, observations are made for several hours at a time. By averaging the signal for this period, the distance to the Moon can be measured to an accuracy of about 3 centimeters. The average distance from the Earth to the Moon is about 385,000 kilometers. The laser ranging retroflector experiment has produced many important measurements. These include an improved knowledge of the Moon's orbit and the rate at which the Moon is receding from Earth, which is currently 3.8 centimeters per year.
Are you getting a TV picture now, Houston?
Neil, yes, we are getting a TV picture. Neil, this is Houston. We're getting a picture. You're not in at the present time. We can see the bag on the LEC being moved by Buzz, though. Here you come into our field of view. Okay, it's quite dark here in the shadow and a little hard for me to see that I have good footing. I'll work my way over into the sunlight here without looking directly into the sun. Be advised that a lot of the rock samples out here, the hard rock samples, have what appear to be vesicles in the surface. Houston, roger out. I'd like to evaluate the various paces that a person can traveling on the surface. My pocket open, Buzz? Yes, it is. It's not up against your suit, though. Hit it back once more. Or more toward the inside. Okay, that's good. Tranquility Base, this is Houston. Could we get both of you on the camera for a minute, please? Man, didn't know you could throw so far. You can really throw things a long way up here. The descent engine did not leave a crater of any size. It has about 1 foot clearance on the ground. We're essentially on a very level place here. I can see some evidence of... okay, Houston, I'm going to change lenses on you.
The Lunar Flag Assembly, or LFA, was a kit containing a flag of the United States, designed to be planted by astronauts on the Moon during the Apollo program. 7 such flag assemblies were sent to the Moon, 6 of which were planted, the exception being the one carried on Apollo 13, which had to abort its landing due to a serious spacecraft failure. The nylon flags were hung on telescoping staffs and horizontal bars constructed of 1-inch anodized aluminium tubes. The flags were carried on the outside of the Apollo lunar module, most of them on the descent ladder inside a thermally insulated tubular case to protect them from exhaust gas temperatures calculated to reach 2000 degrees Fahrenheit or 1090 degrees Celsius. 6 of the flags were ordered from a government supply catalogue and measured 3 feet by 5 feet. The last one planted on the Moon was slightly larger, at 6 foot wide. The flag, which is hung in the Mission Operations Control Room in the Manned Spacecraft Centre for most of the Apollo program.
Start to lose my balance in one direction, and recovery is quite natural and very easy. And moving your arms around, Jack doesn't go off the surface. Not quite that.
Oh, you got no fucking head.
You have to be careful that you're leaning in the direction you want to go, otherwise you slightly inebriated. In other words, you have to cross your foot over to stay underneath where your center of mass is.
This is the solar wind composition experiment. The Sun continually emits a flux of electrically charged particles into space. This is termed the solar wind. The Earth's magnetic field prevents these charged particles from reaching the Earth's surface, although in the Earth's polar regions, these particles can reach the upper part of the atmosphere, causing auroras. The Moon is outside the Earth's magnetic field for most of each month and has a negligible atmosphere, allowing solar wind particles to reach the Moon's surface. The solar wind composition experiment was performed on Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15 and 16. It consisted of an aluminium foil sheet 1.4 metres by 0.3 metres that was deployed on a pole facing the Sun. This foil was exposed to the Sun for periods ranging from 77 minutes on Apollo 11 to 45 hours on Apollo 16, allowing solar wind particles to embed themselves into the foil. The foil was then returned to Earth for laboratory analysis. This allowed the chemical composition of the embedded solar wind to be determined more accurately than would be possible if the measurement were made using remotely controlled instruments on the moon, but limited the periods at which observations could be made.
Neil and Buzz, the President of the United States is in his office now.
Neil is now unveiling the plaque that is...
For those who haven't read the plaque, we'll read the plaque that's on the front. That would be an honor. Go ahead, Mr. President. This is Houston out.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you... For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure they too join with us in recognizing what an immense feat this is. Because of what you have done, the heavens have become a part of man's world. And as you talk to us from the Sea of Tranquility, it inspires us to redouble our efforts to bring peace and tranquility to Earth. For one priceless moment in the whole history of man, all the people on this Earth are truly one. One in their pride in what you have done, and one in our prayers that you will return safely to Earth.
We will, but...
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United States, but men of peace of all nations, men with interest and a curiosity and with a vision for the future. Honor for us to be able to participate here today.
And thank you very much, and I look forward, all of us look forward to seeing you on the Hornet on Thursday.
Neil, this is Houston. Based on your camera transfer with the LEC, do you foresee any difficulties in SRC transfer over?
No, ba.
Negative.
I'm good to go.
And incidentally, these rocks, very powdery surface, have the surface material powdery. I don't know how good your lens is, but if you can touches above. I've noticed several times in going from the sunlight into shadow that just as I go in, I catch an additional reflection off the lens. Along with the reflection off my face onto the visor, makes visibility very poor just at the transition sunlight into the shadow. I essentially have so much glare coming onto my visor, I'm under shadow.
Me and you, it's you and me. We roll the dice. See if I can get in and walk with you. Oh, creepy.
Shadow area.
It has a stunning beauty all its own. It's like much of the high desert of the United States. It's different, but it's very pretty out here.
I want to back up and partially close the hatch.
How come there's no reflection of me?
Making sure not to lock it on my way out.
Yeah, I think it's enough to get out of here now. Hey.
It's a little bit to
Sleep. It's not for the moon.
That's very interesting. It's a very soft surface, but here and there where I plug with the...
We're leaving.
Tranquility Base, Houston. Roger, go ahead. Roger, our guidance recommendation is pings, and you're cleared for takeoff. Roger, understand. We're number 1 on the runway. Roger. Very smooth. Balance come along. Very quiet ride. There's that one crater on there. Feet high, 80 feet per second vertical rise. Here you go, Houston. Request manual start override. Roger. 2,600 feet altitude. Eagle, Houston, you're looking good to us.
Don't ask me to do re-entry, please.
Houston, we got the service module going by.
Oh, Roger, thank you.
And it's rotating just like it should be. Thrusters are firing.
800 nautical miles an hour. Velocity 33,000 feet per second. Houston, we'll have you for about 3-4 minutes through Redstone and then pick you up after blackout through Orion.
Roger.
Guidance reports Apollo 11 right down the middle of the corridor. 11 Houston, you're going over the hill there shortly. You're looking mighty fine to us.
See you later.
Don't ask me to stare at us, please. I have 3 of us.
believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
Apollo 11, Houston, through Apollo 11, Houston, and the blind, airbound says the visual contact. Apollo 11, Houston, standing by for your dipsy reading, over. Apollo 11, this is Hornet, over. Apollo 1, this is Apollo, the great Galactic Core, our position 1330, 16915. Aircraft reports visual with 3 full shoots. Condition of crew, over. Condition of crew, 4,500 feet on the way down. 11 and Hornet, copy. 11 Hornet, what's your splash down there, over? Okay, splash down here is our latitude 1330, 16 knots, 15. That's
Yes, that's it. That's fun. Wow. Cool.